What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the 23 flashes that you can use on Dust 2 on T and CT side to help you win more games. And before I get into the video, the map that I am using is refrag.gg. I'll go ahead and leave 10 free trial codes down below for you guys to use, and if you use my code, you get 15% off your first subscription. So the first flash that I want to show, and this is crucial for Dust 2, is the long A flash. So how you're going to be throwing this is you're going to come over into this corner on the left part of this A sign and up to the wall. And the reason why you throw this flash rather than aiming at the bottom of the palm tree, which I see a lot of people doing, is because if you aim over here, it actually pops closer to long corner, so it blinds the enemy for just a split second longer. Here's what this will look like. Of course, you jump throw it, and this is what it looks like on the receiving end. Now, moving on towards top mid, we have the lower flash. And a lot of these flashes, I'm going to explain why you throw them, not just how you throw them, just so you guys know the scenarios in which you will be throwing these flashes, so you're not just throwing them for fun, essentially. So for the lower flash, you're going to be throwing it when you have some teammates in lower, and you think the CTs are playing off of cat, so you want to flash lower for them so they can peek this in case there's an opper boosted here, or boosted over here, or even just up cat holding lower. So how you'll throw this flash is you'll come over against the back wall of mid, make sure you're not exposed to mid so you don't get opt. You want to aim at this part of the wood, and then you just shift walk run throw. And this flash will always pop above lower. It's pretty hard to mess up, but yeah, if you just want to flash lower for your teammates, you come out mid, you aim here, and you just shift walk throw. So sticking around towards lower, you're just going to go against this back wall. You're going to aim where this stick connects with the ceiling over here, and you're just going to standing throw this. And the good thing about this flash is it does essentially the same thing as the other flash, but just like the other flash, it's undodgeable from the CTs. So if I go ahead and post up here, and I re-throw that nade, even though I'm throwing it right in front of this opper's face, I can't see it because of how high I'm throwing it, and the box covers it. Now let's say you progress lower, and you smoke mid doors like this. Your teammates come all the way up cat, and you guys want to take cat, and you need to flash for them from lower. This is a pretty old flash, but it's still pretty cool to throw. It's a jump throw, and you come against this wall. You aim at this corner of the building, and you just jump throw. And this wall pushes you away so that the flash actually pops over this, and it blinds anyone on this cat railing posted with an op. One thing you have to be aware of is it doesn't blind this close angle, so you want to hard clear this when you do take this peek. It does still blind anyone on this angle or anyone, you know, wide cat right here, but it just doesn't blind this close wall. So if you have a teammate flashing for you and he throws this flash, or you're flashing for someone else, just say, hey, hard clear the close wall, and then that's all you really need to do. So now that we're around mid, here's a cool little combo that you can use for yourself if you want to take mid to B. So you're going to go ahead and get in this corner. You want to crouch down, and you want to find this plank. You aim at the bottom of this nail, you aim over to the right on the shadow, and you just crouching jump throw. And what this will do is it will smoke on top of the box CT and block up top so anyone at A can't see your cross into doors if you were to go mid B. This is just generally a good mid to B smoke. After you throw this smoke, you just aim in the top right corner of Xbox and you just throw a flash. It pops right through the door, blinds anyone close mid, and this is a really, really easy way to just isolate a free kill in mid. And you probably want someone else doing this with you, just so you don't get isolated and you're kind of just solo running out mid. But yeah, this is generally a decent way of taking mid, and that flash is extremely helpful. Now that we've progressed up cat, this is mainly like a util set, not necessarily just flashes, but this is a good util set for taking A if you have smoke, molly, and a couple of flashes. So you're going to crouch in this corner, you want to aim at this dot, and just crouching jump throw, and what this will do is it will throw a pretty wide cat lurk smoke. While that smoke is up, you find this dot, you aim to the left and the center of this scratch. You come out wide and you get close to the box. And you just get close to the smoke on the box. You go ahead and throw that molly, aim a little bit higher, and then start throwing flashes. And what this will do is the molly will molly all of default. It will also molly ramp, so it forces anyone close ramp to back up. And then those flashes will pop below this wall so it doesn't blind your teammates on cat. And it blinds anyone on ramp. It blinds anyone on long. And it blinds anyone, even goose. So these flashes used to be thrown in CSGO, and they were pretty meta. But yeah, this is the lineup for CS2. They function pretty much the same way. And yeah, solid flashes. Let's say my team made it out long, and they want to throw an A exec. So they're going to try and throw cross smokes and make it up to sight. And how you normally throw cross smoke, guys, is I see a lot of people back up into this barrel and try and throw it like this. This is a bad cross smoke. It's good, it lands fine, but it just takes too long to line up. Let's say I'm corner. Oh yeah, I want to throw cross smoke. I have to run all the way back over here. It's better to do this one. So you just basically stand anywhere really around this area on this corner, and you aim in this rectangle. Anywhere really in this rectangle, it's pretty loosey-goosey. You just shift walk, jump throw, and this smoke will land 100% of the time. Notice how it didn't even really line anything up too hard, and it's still fine. And if you want to get it deeper, then you just shift walk a little bit further like that. You still don't peek sight or anything. And yeah, it doesn't spread as much just because you threw it a little deeper. And yeah, this is really how people should be throwing their cross smokes. I don't like when I see people come over here and try and line it up like this. It's not bad, it just takes too long. Anyway, after you throw this smoke, your teammates are going to need scaling flashes to get up sight. And what I mean by scaling flashes is flashes while they are pathing or scaling up to sight that will let them do that safely. So how you're going to throw these flashes is you are literally just going to rip them over car. Just throw flashes like this. Okay, well, that one hit off the light, but you know what I mean. Just throw flashes over car like this, because this flash will blind anyone behind box trying to hold ramp. It will blind anyone here holding ramp, holding long. It will blind anyone on cat holding cross. It will blind anyone CT holding cross. This blinds a lot of different angles, and I swear, the amount of times that I see people with flashes back here while their teammates are scaling and they don't throw them, they just come up and try and start fighting sight. It happens so often, and these flashes just completely deny any peeks from any CTs on site, which is what you are worried about when you are going up long. Now that you've made it onto A site, let's say the CTs are trying to retake A from cat, and they went ahead and they threw their own lurk smoke, and they're trying to get all the way up to site, and you are Goose and you have a flashbang. This flash is so unbelievably powerful, and I'm going to mention it again on CT side because it is completely undodgeable and super easy to throw. So basically you hold left and right click, you aim at the top of the palm tree, and you throw. That is literally it. That is all you do. But because the way the palm tree works, it blocks the flash. So if I go ahead and rethrow it, I don't see the flash till it comes through the leaves and is pretty much already popping. And the reason why you really want to do this flash off of a lurk smoke is because the lurk smoke will cover you from someone holding you on this angle, and it will force them out into the open. So you only have to fight this angle. You only have to peek the outside of the smoke, and then you can just tuck, unpeek, and then play on your teammate's contact. But for the most part, if you throw this flash, it's a guaranteed one kill every single time. So the next flashes that I'm going to show are going to be for B, and you're not really going to be doing this as a lurk because you don't want to let the other team know if you are lurking B that you are doing it on a certain timing or when you are doing it. And if you're flashing and trying to use the flashes as a B lurk, that is basically screaming to the other team, hey, watch out, I'm coming out tons. So don't do that. Pretty much only use these flashes if you're doing a side execute or you're rushing B. So the first flash I want to talk about is this one. It's pretty loosey-goosey. You don't have to really line anything up. You just make sure you go wide enough so the flash isn't going to bounce off of here, then bounce off of here and blind your whole team. You want to make sure it only does one bounce and just pops out into the open around this area. So basically how you want to do this is you just go past this pillar and aim anywhere really on the right side of here and just go ahead and run through. You just want to make sure you pass the pillar and aim as far right as you can, because if you throw it behind the pillar, right, let's say I try to do a B rush flash like this, this is what's going to happen. It's going to bounce off this wall, bounce right here, and blind my whole team. The next flash you're going to be throwing off of this is you're going to aim at this window and just run through. And the reason why this flash is good, and the reason why you need to aim at the window, is because it blinds all of back sight, it blinds all of car, it blinds anyone back plat, it blinds window as well, and it doesn't blind you because it pops behind this wall. And notice how I said aim at the window, and I'm not just chucking it into the bottom of this cubby. The reason why I'm not doing that is because if you do that, it will pop below this wall and it won't blind anyone on sight. This is what it will look like from their perspective. It will look like a scary flash, but if I see a flash that's too low here, this is free kills because I know the other team thinks that I will be blind when I'm actually not. The next flash for B is also going to be if your teammates are coming out tons, and let's say they're scaling sight, right? So you want to throw a flash that won't blind them, but will blind the enemy team. Let's say you don't want to do this flash and you already did the entry flash. You're going to aim at this peg, aim on the right side of it, and just throw. That's all you're going to do. And what this will do is it will pop on this ledge. It will pop behind big box so it doesn't blind anyone scaling out sight. And it will blind anyone under window holding big box. It will blind anyone back sight holding run out. And it will also blind anyone car trying to kill your teammates. I'll show you what this looks like. Right, there's no dodging this, and it's really tough as a CT to deal with all these flashes. If you're playing against an execute that has this entry flash, this scale flash on the left, and this flash on the right, it is really hard to play against. Now the final flash I have for T side is if you aim over here where this brown part of sight connects with this wall, and you just go ahead and jump through. This is a perfect flash for anyone who's window who wants to peek towards mid. So let's say you take all of sight, you know that the CTs are going to be on this mid B ramp, and it's very hard to play anti-flash on this ramp, right? They have to scale up, hold window. Generally what will happen is they'll have a guy CT holding window. You can throw that flash for your teammate who is close window, and he can just peek off of it, and he can just try and catch any of the CTs trying to run up towards B. Let me go ahead and throw that again because I didn't even realize I typed it correctly. Flash pops, boom, and he can just clear out close mid B, and he becomes Nico for the round. Now that we're on to CT side, I'll go ahead and show 12 flashes that you guys can use to win more games. But before I do that, if you guys have skins that you want to sell for money, go ahead and check out the sponsor of today's video, SkinPlace. The sponsor for today's video is SkinPlace. You have skins, right? Well, you can safely convert those skins into cash in just seconds on SkinPlace. Just log into Steam, select the skins you want to sell, choose from their wide variety of payment methods like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tether, and more. And once you put in your wallet address, that's it. It's super easy and only takes a single minute to completely set up your account. I traded 3 skins to SkinPlace, and within just a couple seconds, I saw that money pop up in my crypto wallet. Use the link down below and get to selling. But don't forget to use code POLOCS for a 3% bonus on your first sale. Now let's get back to the video. So the first flash that I'm going to be showing is going to be to support your teammates when they are taking long. And what this will look like is you aim at the sign with the plus on it, you aim pretty much in the center of it, and you just go ahead and throw. And what this will do is it will pop in the open of long, and even though it doesn't look like it goes around the corner, it doesn't really need to, because it just needs to pop in the air to blind long corner. Here's what this will look like from the enemy's perspective. Another really important thing to note is that if your opper is opping long, you don't want to flash for him because there will be a split second where he's kind of half blind, and if a T is trying to run out on that timing, he might miss that shot. So if your opper is opping towards long and you're holding this flash on his shot, don't flash before he shoots or on the timing where he gets to long corner, because that has potential to kind of half blind him and then he could miss the shot. You don't end up getting the kill, and now you guys don't have long. This second flash for long that I'm about to show is going to be for when you have a teammate crossing towards pit who needs to clear anyone who's blue bin. What this will generally look like is, let's say the T's smoke long corner, and you have your teammate mauling long doors from over here, and then you start flashing and he goes to cross to pit. So you don't need to flash long doors anymore because long doors is mauled. So your teammate is going to be taking a fight on anyone in the open or blue bin, which is what you want to be flashing. So you don't want to throw the flashes that pop right here because it might not blind anyone who's swung out here or is blue bin, because if you tuck against blue bin like this, these flashes don't blind you anymore. So you want to throw flashes that will blind anyone blue bin or in the open long. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to aim on this little peg of this building, and you're going to want to run through these flashes. That's all you're going to want to do is just run through those flashes. They don't pop below this little wall. I know it looks like they would, but yeah. So if there's a long corner smoke, these are undodgeable. So they'll be sitting right here. The flashes will pop over there and they'll have to turn or they'll get blind. And the same thing goes for over here. If they're holding the long corner smoke, they just get blind again, and your teammates are swinging out trying to take these fights. So again, these flashes aren't good. These flashes are what you need to be throwing, etc., etc. Now the next flash that I want to talk about is kind of a self flash. It's not really a supporting flash, but let's use this as an example. Let's say the T's smoked long corner, you mollied long doors, they're throwing a ton of flashes, and they are out long, and you want to get active. So how you can get active is you can literally just right-click a flash through the smoke and jump into blue bin. And the reason why you want to jump into blue bin, this is pretty risky if you're doing it alone, but off of this flash, you could have a teammate swing to pit. So then you have a long door mollied, you're holding long door, your teammate's fighting towards pit off of that flash. Your teammate might get isolated, yes, but then you can get this kill and you have potential to kill the guy blue bin as well. And if you have a teammate throwing these scale flashes as well, your teammate who's swinging to blue bin actually has a decent chance of getting these kills. You have a good chance of getting a kill in long door. And this is a pretty chaotic way of holding long, but it does net me a lot of frags in my pugs. Now that we're done with long, I can go ahead and talk about cat. So if you want to do a flash to clear cat, let's say you are on CT and you have cat control, and the T's have taken all of mid, you go ahead and smoke this off, right? This is pretty normal, pretty standard. You just play as CTs behind the smoke. You have a guy, let's say on this ledge, you have a guy sitting close, and this is the setup that you're in. So if you want to clear cat, let's say you need to clear cat because the T's have taken long, you can throw a flash like this. So you come against this wall, you aim at the top of this building just a little bit out, and you just throw. That is all you do. The flash pops barely around the corner, so if anyone's sitting here holding, let me go ahead and throw the flash. they get absolutely destroyed. Anyone on this angle also gets blind, and off of this flash, you just have a teammate come out here, swing, hard clear this cubby, because if anyone gets blind, then they're going to duck into this cubby, and then boom, cat's clear. Awesome. Now, since we're talking about cat, it's very common for the T's to throw this smoke from mid doors, and now as a mid player, you have no mid info. So how you can help your teammates try and get back some mid control is you can help your cat players take fights on lower by doing this flash. So you want to aim to make this flash pop in front of Xbox to blind anyone lower. So you aim at the top of the mid doors, you just kind of shift walk throw, and this will pop in the center of Xbox to blind anyone in lower, trying to progress lower. And this gives your cat players some leeway to take fights on lower. Anyone in lower will be blind. Boom, boom. You lost mid, but you got some kills in lower. So the next flash from mid as a support flash if your teammates took mid. Let's say that you fast catted and you have teammates pushing up mid. You are the mid player. You smoked suicide. You mollied top mid while your teammates are coming up cat. And now they get up close mid. You have to flash top mid for them if they want to fight towards long. So you're going to find this rock and aim a little bit to the left of it on this step. And you're just going to W tap jump throw on that step. And this flash looks like it doesn't go around the corner because of this little bug that CS has. All good. But I'll go ahead and rethrow that nade just so you see where it goes. Perfect flash on the corner, blinds anyone holding here, blinds anyone holding here. And this is just a great support flash after this top mid molly fades for your teammates to come and take fights on anyone long. Continuing with flashing for mid, if you do want to push into tons, let's say you're on eco, you have 5.7, you have MP9, you want to run into lower, you can do a suicide smoke like this, smoke suicide so you can get out and don't have to worry about suicide, and you flash off of this pillar. You just running flash here. And the reason why this flash is good is because it blinds anyone in the doors sitting here holding lower, right? So also keep in mind you don't really have to dodge this flash if you're throwing it early enough because it will pop before you get up. But yeah, if there's anyone in this door holding lower, they get full blind and they won't expect this flash. This is a pretty uncommon flash. At higher levels, you can kind of expect this, but at lower levels, you don't really. And then let's say anyone started towards B to take B fights. Oh, lower, yeah, I need to hold lower. Blind by this flash. And because of that flash, it was actually pretty common for T's to start defaulting over towards this box and just hold this area. So if you also want to throw this as a nade, it will also chunk a lot of people who try to default anywhere along this wall. So this next flash is a little bit of a round start for you at B. So let's say you're a B player, you molly tons, and you think they might rush. You come over here and you just hold this flash. And the reason why you just hold this flash, even if they are rushing, is because they will need to smoke your molly. So what this will look like is they will smoke your molly, and by the time they get out tunnel, they will be out here, so they won't see you at big box tucked into this corner. The reason why you hold this flash is because if they smoke your molly, that means that you flash, this flash pops in front of big box, and you swing off of it. And think of it like this too. If they are rushing B, the flashes they're going to be throwing are going to be the flash off of the wall, flashes into this cubby, and any flashes into sight. Yes, there might be some flashes over tons, but those will really half blind you if you're playing on sight. So if you come over here, you molly tons, and you hold this flash. If they smoke your molly and start rushing B, you rip this flash, it pops, and you just kill any T's running through your smoke. This next flash is, again, if I'm a mid player, and let's say the T's smoke mid to B, and I have 2 players in B site. This is a fairly normal scenario. Let's say we want to fight the mid to B split, me and my B player, so what he'll do is he'll smoke over towards tunnel, and I need to figure out a flash that I can do to fight mid B. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come under window, I'm going to aim at this little plus area, I'm going to aim at this little plus area in the center of it, and I'm just going to right-click jump throw. And what this flash does is it's pretty hard to dodge, and if you do dodge it, I'm peeking with it because it doesn't blind me anyway. So I can just come out here, I can throw this flash and peek with it, and anyone who's running up mid to B has to be blind, and my teammate Door can also peek off of it as well, because if he's sitting over here, flash pops, boom, anyone who's along this wall can't dodge it either, because I'll show you what it looks like from his perspective. Right? It's pretty tough to dodge. So this is just a good self flash to hold a mid to B split. So similar to this flash that I was talking about before, let's say it's mid round and the other team is trying to pop B. Let's say you already used your molly early, so they don't have to smoke any mollies if they come out, and they're just going to spam flashes at you. A flash that you could throw is you could throw this flash actually, and it will just pretty much have the same fundamental way of popping as the other one did that popped in front of Xbox as this one. But you're just throwing it from back sight now. You're just throwing it from back double, and now anyone coming out has to either turn or stare into the flash. And then when the flash is popping, that's when you peek. They will either be blind or looking away. This is another good way of holding B site. Now, I'm not going to talk about this flash because everyone knows it, the one that you just throw off of this wall and it blinds anyone long. And the reason why I'm not going to talk about this is because I think this is a pretty bad flash. If I'm over here towards long, I'm going to hear the bounce and turn. There's really no point in having it bounce when you could literally just do this instead, right? They don't hear it bounce. It pops directly on the corner. It's a little bit more consistent because you're kind of controlling where it goes. And if you're going to flash long, this is probably the flash you want to do. If you have teammates coming through the long cross smokes, then you could just flash over ramp like this just to blind anyone on long. And also because the way that this pops, if your teammates are swinging through this smoke, it won't even touch them before they're out of the smoke. So they can just peek with it. They don't even get half blind and any of the T's will be blind. I just don't really like this flash. It's very meh to me. So again, I'm going to talk about this flash on CT side. If the T's are coming up and they're doing a full execute, so they throw lurk smoke, they start flashing, all this good stuff, and you are Goose. You middle click throw this flash into the palm tree. You peek because this smoke blocks off the cap peek, so they have to be in the open. They have to stare at this flash, and this is a solid way of holding A. Now, the next flash I'm going to show is for if you are a mid player and you want to flash for your teammate CT to go ahead and clear mid. You're just going to come over in this corner, back here over towards window. You want to aim at the bottom left corner of mid, and you just go ahead and jump through this flash. And the way that this flash will pop is it will blind anyone on this wall CT holding, and they won't be able to dodge this flash at all. The other reason why you want to throw that flash is because if there's anyone here as well, then they won't be able to see the flash coming, right? Because you throw it from a little bit around the corner. I think they'll be able to see your body when you're throwing it a little bit, maybe slightly. Maybe they'll see your elbow. But they won't be able to see the flash coming. So if they're holding a kind of wider angle, holding like this, then you don't see the flash coming. They get blind as well. And the flash is coming from where they're watching. That is why this flash is good, is because you throw it a little offset from what they're actually watching. Now, the next flash I want to show is just for a lower support. So let's say your team is playing on mid. Your teammate has smoked suicide and mollied top left, and he's just sitting in lower. So let's say there's T's that are in lower. They're boosting. Let's say they're trying to boost for cat or something like this. And your teammate's calling for a flash lower. You can just throw a flash that pops directly in front of the box. Just do a quick little step. Pops directly in front of the box, so anyone who's holding lower gets full blind. Anyone who's in this corner gets full blind. And then your teammate can just come out here, peek with the flash, check it, and then because you guys are playing on mid, you can help him get out of lower, and then boom, you did your job. Now, the next flash I want to show is for a B retake, and if you have a smoke and a molly, it's a little bit of a retake combo. So what you're going to want to do is you come into this corner, doesn't have to be super specific, and you just aim at the top left of this little brick right here. So you just want to get in this corner, aim on the left side of the brick, and go ahead and jump throw. And this is just a perfect molly for under window. There's no T's that can play under window now, and that is the only place that this flash doesn't blind. So you come over here, you aim up from this building all the way up to the wire, and you just standing throw this flash. What this flash does is it blinds anyone big box holding door, it blinds anyone over here holding door or window, and keep in mind they can't be under window, so they can't be holding anything like this, which doesn't get blind by the flash, so they have to be here. This is pretty much the only spot that doesn't get blind by this flash. Big box gets blind. Anyone even back here holding door gets blind because it pops over the door. Even in this corner, you get blind as well. I'll go ahead and rethrow just so you guys can see. And it also blinds anyone default as well. Now, the last piece of util for retaking B is going to be another under window molly and another window flash, but you're doing it for yourself this time and not for your teammates. So the old under window molly used to be this lineup where you come into this corner and you just jump through at the shadow. But because the new CT mollies, it doesn't actually fully burn under window, and there could still be a CT in this corner. So you need to change up the molly that you're doing. And the molly that burns under window now with the new CT molly is you come up in line with this, and you find this dark spot right here, aim a little bit to the left of it, and you just jump throw. And what this will do is, yeah, it will burn fully under window. It will burn over here, kind of like the other one did that I threw from bottom mid. And then after you throw this molly, you can just throw the same old under window flash that you used to do, which would be this. And anyone holding window is full blind. And yeah, it's pretty hard to dodge as well because the way that it pops, it goes here, boop, and yeah. Anyone holding from big box gets blind. Let me go ahead and rethrow just so you see. Yes, they're able to see it kind of last second, but anyone holding you here is blind. Anyone back sight has to turn. And this is mainly a good flash for kind of like just baiting any pressure. You don't really want to commit off of this flash, but you want to just sit here, molly under window, throw the flash, and then you can come over here and maybe post on back plat, post on big box for anyone trying to swing when they think that you're running out. But yeah, you're not really trying to like solo run in off this flash. You're just trying to bait out any peeks from the T's now that I think about it. But okay, with that being said, that is going to be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go through every map and go over flashes that will be useful. And I know this was a long video, but there's a reason for it, right? I'm trying to explain why these flashes are good. I don't want to just give you guys the flashes and not tell you when you're going to use them or how you're going to use them. I want to give you guys the flashes and give you guys the basis of and the fundamental understanding of how you use flashes in this game and how you support teammates in this game and good flash lineups for doing so. Also, just a side note, in the edit, if you guys want to do check out videos that give the theory behind when you should be using these flashes and everything that encompasses that, I'll go ahead and leave that in one of the tool tips, either up here or over here or somewhere around the screen if you guys want to click on that and check that series out. But yeah, I also do coaching on my Medify. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, I'll go ahead and link that down below. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.